But yeah, we're
That's
good. How about
awesome.
you? I know it's funny. We didn't intentionally plan the timing of this, but I mentioned I was feeling tired. You had a very unique kind of week last week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a great week. I mean, I got to get away for a couple of days with some old friends and some new friends, and a bunch of people that just love on guys and girls in ministry that create a retreat space, and kind of really the topic of discussion for today, getting into really what we wanted to dialogue about. But I went to this really cool retreat center that, when I say like retreat, some of you might hear that and you get like some like vibes about like mandatory this or required to be at that, or wake up super early for the sunrise service. And you hear retreat and you're like, I don't think that sounds like any
Like
bit of
ultra
fun at all.
scheduled retreat.
Yeah, but this environment was completely different. It was like full on retreat for guys, and it was only guys on this one, but they host many women, and they have the similar things available, and the guys just love it. Talk about like fishing and shooting guns and stuff like that. It's like it was a lot of fun, and anyway, just being on the trip kind of like opened up both of our eyes, but mine especially, onto the idea of what it looks like to rest. Because if I'm being honest, I am guilty of the American dream. I'm I want to hustle, I want to grind, I want to get into my goals, and all those things are incredible. By the way, if you're ambitious or goal oriented, by in no means am I saying that's incorrect. I just didn't. I never really knew how to turn that off, because I'm very accustomed to finding something new to get myself into.
Like
And
this podcast.
yeah, yeah, and all those things are great, and that's probably why like I am in the kind of vocation that I'm in. It's why I songwrite and things like that. I'm always about something new, and I never really give myself the space to slow down, which is something I'm pretty sure if you live in the United States of America, you're accustomed to this.
Mhm.
My I was talking to my dad, and he when he moved to this country, they were talking to different people about getting their driver's license, and there was this guy in his driver's license class that said, do you know what the traffic lights represent? It was yeah, he says, my dad is talking to the guy. The guy says, yes, green means go, red means stop, and yellow means speed up.
I mean, come on.
you know?
That which actually does not mean that, but yes, according to the behavior you see on the
Yeah,
road,
yeah, yellow means
you
speed
would
up.
think yellow means speed up.
And
Yep.
I feel like in a way, so many of us as Americans find ourselves always on that yellow, where it's just either yellow or green, and we're just go, 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 speed up, and then get back to our regular pace and go, go, go. We never find ourselves stopping.
Hmm.
And I think there's so many people, especially in my family friends, that equate stopping with dying. Like I have like a lot of
Hmm.
recently family members. We lost a lot of family members recently,
Hmm.
and sometimes when they run out of things to do, or tasks, or a job to go after, and they go into retirement, their body begins to break down. They start getting sick, and because it's just we don't know how to stop. We don't know how to get to a place when we're not earning, or we're not grinding, we're not working. And I'm very guilty of that. Obviously things like this fuel me, but yet and still, it is something, another thing for me to go after something, for us to go after another platform, or to go after creating content. I'm very willing to admit that I have been guilty of not knowing how to stop and
Yeah.
not knowing how to
Well, and
rest.
it's funny. I like that you brought up that visual of the traffic light. You guys have seen this, right? That person who takes the yellow as speed up And inevitably, not only do they self-sabotage their own safety, they put everybody else in that intersection at risk. Because now, what did you think the red was for? To like, it was a killjoy? The red was to like ruin your day? They just knew you were late.
Yeah.
So the light turned red just to sabotage your day. No, perhaps it was a time system to create order and allow what was supposed to progress. And when we do things out of order and out of a sustainable pace, then destruction happens.
You know, it's interesting too, because like the amber lights are to slow down, and we never take it that way. But that color is to slow down. Which also interesting is that in our car, like in your dashboards, typically when something needs attention in your car, the first light that pops up is whatever that color is, but it's amber. You know, you think about your gas. When it pops up, it's usually yellow or amber, seeing that you're getting low on gas. It's only when you get to red when it's on E. And I feel like we have the tendency to blow by the warning signals of our life, where something is popping up as amber saying, you should check this out. You should maybe slow down. You should realize your temper is getting a little out of control. And we ignore the warning signals, and then we find ourselves stopping and things breaking down in our life.
We don't stop.
Crashing.
We get stopped. I would say, you said, a lot of these things that you're passionate about, a lot of these things that you feel, driven towards, and you're creative. For me, I'm not a creative, but I'm very much a go-getter. I'm also a finisher. Like, I like to finish what I started. So sometimes that's what kind of makes it a little bit challenging for me to know when to slow down, because I don't like to leave things unfinished, right? But even as you were saying that, you said all those things, they're not bad things. Like, hear us. We're not saying that having goals and aspirations are bad. But you said they fuel you. And, it's ironic, right? They fuel you initially.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're not careful and you don't allow those things to be in alignment and in a sustainable, God-set pace, they will not only fuel you initially, but they'll be the very thing that actually drains you as well. And I think of a lot of things in life, totally off subject, but it kind of is a good visual. Food is meant to fuel your body. But when done improperly, it's also the very thing that drains your body and causes self-sabotage. And, rest, when we talk about rest, God created rest. Okay, so let's just start there. We didn't create it, right? It was something that God established, rest. Even God rested as he created everything we know that exists now, right? And so where is it that we as man decided that we, in our own strength, could go after all the things every day, 24 hours? And I mean, let's not even talk about the fact that like now with social media, you're literally never off, right? So you have to ask yourself, like, what are those rest rhythms that you need to set in place?